What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis was asked, how does he feel about Ryan Garcia and where he ranks? He said, Ryan Garcia is one of the top guys. On top of that, he also said, this is one of my toughest fights, and I will do my best to pass the test. And let me counterpunch. Have you noticed something about Gervonta, though, when he does get a fight? He doesn't talk about, like, how good he is. He's just like, we'll see. He kind of brings that Terrence Crawford-like energy at times, like, oh, well, we'll see how it happens. We'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? And him saying that Ryan Garcia is one of the top guys and that's his toughest opponent, it just shows you he has mad respect for what's happening at the time. And he has no illusions or delusions of grandeur. Okay? And I think that will pay out good for someone that takes that approach, even if it's real or not. Right? Because if it's orchestrated, it's still good. Why? Because if Gervonta can beat Ryan, he will be praised because he is already bigged up or explained how big the opportunity was for him. Okay? He's already promoted Ryan Garcia as being something of a high world-class fighter that needs to be praised because when he beats him, he will get the praise. Counterpunch. That's easy to figure out. See, I like that approach because now Ryan is saying, oh, Gervonta, I'm going to take you out in 2 rounds, boy. 2 rounds, boy. 3 rounds. I'm going to take you out. You know, that's cap. You know, I mean, it could happen, but then he's capping because, you know, he wants to sell it. He wants to go the Muhammad Ali route. He's a bum. He's not this. He's not that. You know, but I don't think it ever makes any sense to talk about how bad or how a fighter or how good or how bad a fighter is. And then if you win, you really don't get the credit because you've talked him down the whole particular fight, you know, unless you have a tough fight with that fighter. And then you can say those things, you know, if people buys it. But if you go in and blast that person out, you won't get the praise. It reminds me of when Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather fought Diego Corrales. And Diego Corrales was like 33-0 or something like that, 29 KOs. But then he fought Floyd, and Floyd was just like really dissing him and downing him. But Floyd went in there and mopped the floor with him, surprisingly. But then guess what? Nobody really gave Floyd any credit truly because he was already talking about how overrated Diego Corrales was, how slow he was, you know, how none on the level that he was from him. So he really didn't get the praise that he probably should have if he would have went the route of praising the fighter because people say what they want. These fighters want credit for beating the other fighter, especially if this is a throwback fight, especially if this is a fight that's needed amongst the elite. None of these guys are past their prime. None of these guys are way older. Like Gervonta ain't 36 and Ryan Garcia, you know, in his 20s. It's nothing like that. They're both in their 20s. They're both in their prime, and I think it's time. Okay? And I just want to mention that because that's the great or the best approach for any fighter that's fighting a guy that is a challenge. Praise the fighter because when you get the victory, you'll get the victory. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Gervonta Tank Davis and how he feels about Ryan Garcia. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.